Hey y'all, good morning, good morning, good morning. It is Poppin' Politics with Kim Nicole, and today is February 4th, and a lot has been going on. So before I start there, I just want to say um, it's been a while. I'm trying to still get adjusted to making content, and I appreciate you if you watch my videos that I also linked on Facebook. Um, But yeah, if you watched it and you did not like it or you did not subscribe and you my friend, you ain't really my friend if you didn't do that. So I'm gonna need you to like and subscribe it and subscribe to my channel, okay? All right. I'm a beginner. I need your support. And if you think that give me some feedback too. Like if you feel like, Kim, you be rambling on, or Kim, I don't like how, anything. Like you want to hear a different topic, please let me know. That's what you are there for. And that is what I'm willing to do. So yeah. Anyway, yeah, I'm in my bed. I haven't gotten like I said, I'm trying to adjust. So I'm trying to get in a video where I can fit it in. Right now, I have some time before I go to work. So this is what you get in. But and I respect that for the people who I follow on YouTube or Instagram or whatever. So give me some grace, y'all, and yeah. If you like what I'm doing, let me know. All right? Because I love talking about these topics. But anyway, Poppin' Politics is about pop culture. We're going to talk about pop culture and politics because that's where I have a background in. So, anyway, now that that's been said, yeah, let's get into it. So, a lot of things has happened since number 47 has been inaugurated on January 20th. And now we're on February 4th. It's 14 days, y'all. 14 days, and it feels like freaking 2 years. Okay? But anyway, wait, let me just sit up a little bit more. So, yeah. So, anyway, a lot of things have been going on, and I wanted to unpack some of them. And I'm trying to not make the videos too long. Um, And like I said, and yeah, I'm trying to fix myself up too as I go along. But I wrote down some things that I want to touch upon because a lot of things been happening. Like every hour on the hour, there's been things that's just like you can't even keep up with this shit. It's a lot. So let's see. Oh boy. So here we are. Let's start with the most recent thing. So over the weekend, there was a whole situation that went down with the U.S. Treasury. So apparently, Elon Musk had forced himself and his associates to the Treasury officials that work there to give up the information for the U.S. Treasury for the Treasury from the Treasury Department, which holds information about every single American, which includes their Social Security info, all of their financial histories, things like that. And our Social Security, when I say Social Security info, I mean Social Security info relating to money, Social Security. So this agency holds about $6 trillion of Americans' money that Elon Musk wanted the information from and actually got permission from the new the new Treasury Secretary, I believe. If I got this wrong, someone let me know. But so Scott Bassett. And so he basically gave him the information that holds all of us. And why that's a problem is because Congress has to authorize this, right? Congress did not authorize it. Actually, Congress has been very quiet because we have a freaking Congress that is half MAGA and half Democrats. Okay? And that's just what it is, right? And so MAGA Republicans aren't saying anything because they're a cult of Trump supporters, right? They are nothing but whatever Trump wants. That's what they do. They're not even loyal to themselves or their own constituents. Okay? Because what's happening and what he's doing is impacting their own constituents. I'm talking about the MAGA Republicans in Congress. So nothing is getting done. The only thing that they're going to get done is whatever number 47 wants. As for the Democrats, what are y'all doing? What in the hell are y'all doing? Yo, they're at a gunfight with a freaking knife at this point because the Democrats, y'all need to get it together and quickly. I'm not even giving you no grace because the grace was the fucking campaign in 2024. Hakeem Jeffries, love you to death, respect you, but these speeches gotta go. Y'all need to do some stuff. Forget the speech. Speeches are great for that time, but this ain't the time and this ain't the era for that. What we need is y'all to be revolutionary and radical. We need y'all to get y'all asses out on the street and start shaking some shit up. That's what we need. Fuck the speech. Nobody here cares. We don't want to hear it. Because at this point, they are fucking with people's money. Period. Okay? So, now, that being said, they're looting the government, basically. Mr. Musk and whoever's behind him. Okay? So, and what they're calling this is a coup. So what is a coup if you're not familiar with that term? A coup is a hostile takeover. And so what's happening right now in America is being held by a hostile takeover of a shadow government, aka Mr. Musk and associates. So, and what we're hearing now is the associates are like 19 years old, just out of college, and they're beholden to Mr. Musk because they worked for his companies. Listen, you can't even make this up out of the worst movie that we've seen. This shit is disgusting, right? It's giving me Divergent. It's giving me the Hunger Game vibes. Like, what in the hell is going on? So, at this point, that's what's happening. And so now, as of yesterday, the Democrats got on and had a press conference. Some of the senators went to, because another thing, part of this was USAID, which is a government agency that is kind of separate, was also they fired the person and they locked out the employees and they took all the information from those systems and they locked out the Congress and the Senate people yesterday who went to the USAID agency, which is a department of the government, and said, hey, by the way, you can't do this. This is illegal. And so they locked them out. So this is where we at. Even the U.S. senators and Congress people can't get in. Stay tuned for more. This is the last what I heard as of yesterday. So I'm like, what is going on? Y'all, we are at a constitutional crisis, but we've been in that since the moment the Supreme Court decided that 47 has immunity and that, to be honest, he's a convicted felon. How do we... a convicted felon as a president? We can talk about a lot of things, but none of this is making sense, but it's all really happening in real life. Now, aside from that mess, and honestly, we don't know what he's going to do with that information. We're talking about Mr. Musk. And yeah, this is where we're at. So while the world is looking like, yo, I'm not messing with America, let's talk about some other things that's been discussed. First of all, I'm hearing about passports. Passports are, I'm hearing and seeing on social media that people, American citizens, are being told that they're not able to get passports. Someone, if you know, if you've experienced this, let me know in the comments. Also, I want to talk about May 7th. So now if you want to fly domestically, right, you will need the real ID. So the real ID is the license with the chip in it, right? It's not the one that you currently have. If you don't have the chip in it, you don't have the real ID. But everyone needs to get up on that, because by May 7th, the TSA is going to require that as ID. Also, you may need to carry around your birth certificate just to prove that you're a citizen. Like, this is the shit that we are living in right now. So it's interesting, because I had to tell my son, like, make sure, because he's always these kids, they always losing some stuff, and he's been one to, like, always losing his ID. And I'm like, I need you to get it together. Like, I don't know what you need to do. If you need to get something to go around your neck that you can carry or attach to your clothing, do that. Because at this point, they rounding up people who's, and I'm talking about ICE, who are legal citizens. So, and which brings me to another topic of concern, which is the ICE raids. I'm in North Carolina, if you in New York, you already experienced that. What I do, my job was, talking to us about what needs to happen if ICE comes to your place of business, your company, and pretty much 3 things can happen. 3 things you need to know. If ICE comes to your job, and I'm pretty sure your job should be telling you or giving guidance on what to do and how to do it legally. But the job I'm at, or the company I work for, we've been trained and told to, like, if they're coming, they want to do a search on public property, they don't need a warrant for that. But if it's a private company or organization, 2 things need to happen. They need to have, 1, a judicial warrant. And a judicial warrant basically says that a federal judge gave approval for this search to take place. And it will name the areas that can be legally searched. Okay? Number 2, they need to have an administrative warrant if they're looking for an individual. Okay? So basically, if they're looking for, Joe Schmo, it needs to say on that administrative warrant that person's name, and that's who they're looking for to enforce it. Now, if this is on private property, these 2 things need to happen. They need to have a judicial warrant and an administrative warrant if they're looking for someone. And they also need to have, consent from the owner, right? So the judicial warrant, like I said, federal judge is giving the areas that need to be searched, and an administrative warrant will have whomever the individual is that they're looking for, that person's name. Okay? You also do have the right to remain silent if someone tried to come and round you up. And you also have the right to request an attorney. So know those things. I don't even know. Like, I saw a video that was concerning where a officer, a sheriff somewhere, I don't know what state this was, but tried to enter into a woman's house and said because he didn't have a warrant, anything, and they were going back and forth, and he told her because he's there in her house, she opened the door, he stepped foot like beyond the threshold of the doorway, but he wasn't all the way in her house, and told her this is her house. He's the owner of this house now. And I'm like, what kind of crazy world are we living in? Anyway, that was a video I saw, but just on the immigration part and the ICE raids, and I'm sure at the schools, wherever you work, there should be guidance on how to handle that. And for yourself as an individual, those two things need to happen as well. If someone knocks on your door and they're talking about they're looking for, such and such, they need to show a warrant, period. Whether it's a judicial warrant or administrative warrant or both. And you have the right to refuse them if they don't. Because if it's not public is different. But if it's private, yeah, you have the right. So, and if anybody has any more guidance, or if you feel that I missed out on something, please put it in the comments. I'd be more than happy to get some extra knowledge around that. But for right now, that's my knowledge. Also, what else? Because there's so many things that's been going on. The DC plane crash and DEI being blamed. Y'all already know that shit don't make no sense, right? So we all can agree that DEI is not the cause of that. What we can agree upon also is that if you make cuts and you put a freeze on the FAA, okay, which runs aviation, the Federal Aviation Committee, and I might have got that wrong, but they're the ones who run the air traffic controllers, okay? If you cut and understaff air traffic controllers, if there's no one there to man the space for these planes to get signals where it's to clear it or not, then no, that's not a DEI issue. It's that you are understaffed, and it's a staffing issue. If you cut the budget so you can't hire, but essentially 47 put a freeze on any more hires, he fired everybody, and that's why you had this tragic accident happen. And right now, that shit got me a little shook on flying myself. Do y'all feel scared now? How do you feel about flying? And I mean, that's just in DC, and normally I will travel from New York to North Carolina or to whatever other state. Now it's given, I don't know. And so it's not about people of color being a pilot and flying these aircrafts. And matter of fact, no, there wasn't anybody black that was flying that aircraft. If you look at who was flying it, they weren't black. However, it's not just about black people, but they're making DEI a boogeyman for and a code for black. And so we all are smart enough to know that we know that that's what you mean when you say DEI. But And for those who may not really be familiar with that term, DEI stands for diversity, equity, and inclusion. And what that really means is that it's a set of policies that was created to include all people that historically been discriminated and marginalized. Okay? So that looks like if you are a person with disabilities, you would be able to benefit from DEI policies. If you were LGBTQ, sorry, LGBTQ, if you are a veteran, if you were transgender, if you're a woman, if you are any real type of historically marginalized group. That includes Hispanics, that includes black people, that includes Asian, indigenous. Yes, that policy was created to open up that space for everyone to be included. The difference between DEI and affirmative action was a set of policies that was created to ensure to basically right or wrong, because it was to right people who were discriminated against, black people, historically, and allow them to enter and have some into the workplace equitably. Okay, it went right along with the Civil Rights Act. Okay, the Civil Rights Act, I think it was 1965 or 64, basically was allowing that black people had a right to actually have equitable rights in basically everything, in all things. Okay, so excuse me, I'm like having a brain fart for some reason, but y'all know what I mean, right? And if you don't know, Google it and look it up, okay? Because I'm having a brain fart. But basically, that was also a way to make sure that black people have rights in this country. And so when black people have rights in this country, and I hate to get into like a whole bunch of other stuff, but everybody else benefits from that as well. Meaning, who's everybody else? These other groups, which are Hispanics, Asian, all the other groups that's considered other, all benefited from affirmative action and DEI. So don't think about when you hear DEI it's just black. No, it's not just black. All the groups I mentioned are all the other people who benefit from that. And white women are the number one. they're the number one group who benefited from diversity, equity, and inclusion, and others, right? So a lot of these roles, and I've said this before, and I think there was one time me and Dr. Connolly, we talked about this, how like you have these white women who are teaching DEI, training on diversity, equity, and inclusion, when as a collective of the white race, that not them specifically, but as a collective of the white people, they really historically, they created these systems of systematic discrimination. White folks did that. So it's so interesting that white folks are the one that created the discrimination, but then now they're going to be the ones that solve the problem. Yeah, I make it make sense. But and now they're going to teach about it. But I guess you tell me. Moving on. The backlash with Tabitha Brown and Target. So basically, Target, McDonald's, Walmart, Meta, the list goes on. There's a bunch of companies who rolled back their diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives and said they're no longer going to um, promote that. And so a lot of folks decided that, at least what I'm hearing for Black History Month, I don't know if it's going to go longer, to boycott Target. And so Tabitha Brown was being dragged because she was like, she got on and she talked about this boycott. And she basically was saying, like, she understands the boycott, but there are Black brands that are in those companies, and she's one of them because she does business with Target, Walmart, and Amazon. And all three of them are no longer going to promote DEI initiatives. So she was basically saying that, if you do that, you are hurting the black brands that are there. And so I feel like I get what she's saying. I do, but I also think that she was a little tone deaf in her delivery of the message. And two things can exist at the same time, and one is that, yes, if you boycott Target, then you will also be boycotting her brand. Her point was that if you boycott Target can then turn around to the Black brands and say, see, nobody's buying your stuff, and so they'll take them off the shelf. I also tend to believe that they can take them off the shelf if they want to. Now, let's be clear, she has a contract, so contracts are involved. Now, if they did that, she can sue them because that would be in violation of whatever kind of, the way that their contract is set up. And I do believe she mentioned that she had another year with Target. So I get what she's saying. She's like, she understands if that's how you move, and like if y'all gonna boycott the month of February, I get it, but just think about, you boycott Target, you're also boycotting us, the Black brands, and we will be severely impacted, more impacted, right, as a business, as a Black-owned brand. So that makes sense. We don't know what her contract is looking like, but she did mention that she still has a year with Target. And so my thought on it is that I think you got to be like Dr. King. You got to do like the bus strike. You can't do it just for a month. A month is a good start. The month of February is short. It's 28 days. You got to be consistent. You got to be committed, right? And I think that will require more than a month, if I'm being honest. So I think, there she made sense. I also think that, the way that she delivered her message probably wasn't the best. And so a lot of people dragged her. But, we also, but I think it opens up a good conversation for other opportunities that can come out of this for the Black community and other people of color. Like, we need to make sure that maybe now is the time that we might have to just start doing more building community with each other and making sure that we do stuff as a people together collectively. If people are telling you, and people meaning these companies are telling you that they don't value your business, which means Black and brown people, then we need to take our business elsewhere and go where you are valued. That's just common sense. So that's my whole thing on Tabitha Brown. Moving on. Also, tariffs. All right, so tariffs hit. And so as of today, what I've been reading is that number 47 decided to hold back a month or put a pause on the tariffs on Mexico for a month. So this is what I'm hearing. But let's just get into it and unpack that a little bit. So tariffs. What's a tariff? A tariff is basically a tax. It's when a government creates a tax on goods or services, well, really goods, on a foreign country. So it's like goods that are being imported to our country. They put a tax on it. So what really happens is, if you're importing, if avocados from, let's say, Mexico are being imported to America, America is then going to, if America decides to put a tax on those goods, the American people pay the tax, not the country that's being, that the goods are being imported from. So what makes this all wild and crazy, and why this was in the news, is because Mexico, Canada, and China were allies. Well, China is a little bit off and on toxic relationship, but Mexico and Canada are allies of the United States. All of a sudden, number 47 wants to have a trade war with these countries. So what did they do? They decided that they're going to push back, and they're going to impose a tariff on American goods. So what that means for you and I is that shit is going to get expensive. Shit is going to get expensive. And so what we don't want to happen is that we don't want that. So that means that, like, if you buy in, it really can really trickle down just like this. Is, let's say you go to Chipotle, you get a burrito bowl, and let's say you get avocado or whatever in it, and things like that. Let's just say that all of a sudden your burrito bowl, which may have been $10, now could be double the cost. It might be, $17, $18 for that same bowl. That's what we're talking about. I'm hearing that gas might go up. And from what I understand, we get a lot of our oil from Canada. We get a lot of stuff from Canada and Mexico. So what that means for us is that things are going to get expensive. So we need to be aware of that and think about that. If you think eggs are $7 is bad, think about a lot of other stuff just going up and getting ridiculously crazy like that. So yeah, that's just some of the shit that's going down. Then we had the federal funding freeze. That was last week. And so basically what happened was, Trump tried to push an order to, well, not even an order, he just stopped it. Like, federal funding programs were no longer getting any money. Like, and so let's just dissect that a little bit. So these are some of the programs that get federal funding. If you're a student, a college student, and you get a TAP grant or Pell grant, whichever one is federally funded, I think both, that would affect you. If you receive Medicaid, that will impact you. If you receive a Section 8, that will impact you. If you live in a HUD-controlled building, that will impact you. If you receive childcare, that will impact you. If you receive SNAP or WIC benefits, that will impact you. If you get any kind of federal funding, grants for your non-for-profit, that will impact you. That will impact you if you have a kid in daycare or after school programs. Those programs get federal funds, you will be impacted. So you get what I'm saying, right? A lot of people will be impacted. What happened was, just on the Medicaid alone, the Medicaid portals that were shut down. They were shut down. So the payments weren't being made to those providers. And that was last week. A lot of things was just stopped and ceased. And so that was illegal. Why is it illegal? It's illegal because those were funds that were already appropriated. They were already approved by Congress. Congress holds the purse strings. Okay, remember that. So these were funds that were already appropriated, meaning they were approved by Congress before 47 even was in office. So you can't go back and say, well, I don't like this. And so because of that, I don't like this program, I don't like this. Congress has to pass and approve that, not the president. So basically, that's what number 47 did. He went in and said, I'm going to stop all of this. I'm not making any payments. And he didn't have the authority to do so, which is why that was illegal. So what happened was attorney generals from different states and all these groups and organizations got together, filed a suit in federal courts, to the federal courts, and said, look, he can't do this. And so then there was a pause. And then number 47 rescinded the order. But right now it was, well, right now 2 judges had put a suspension on him stopping the money, right? And so as of yesterday, it was supposed to be taken back up for review. And so right now, I don't know where we're at. But that was as of yesterday. These things happened. And last week, actually. So you have a lot of things that's been going on and messing with people's money. Again, they're in our pockets, y'all. They're in our pockets. So just to let you know, those are some of the things that have already happened, and we're only on day 14. I don't know about y'all, but I feel like my nervous system is under attack, right? Because this can give you PTSD. This shit, all of this stuff going on can actually make you feel like trauma, like you're being traumatized. And I think that they are designing it to feel like that so us citizens can get in line, so we can, be fearful and obey. And so we can't allow that. We have to resist all of this stuff. We have to fight back for our rights. Because if we don't have no rights, what do we have? So anyway, what I'm saying is we need to make sure that while we're going through this, how can we help ourselves? How can we keep ourselves well? Because we still got to live life. While all this is going on, what I will say is that the people who have been elected and empowered to act on the behalf of us who elected them, to get your ass out there and do some shit. Because that's what we hired you for. So I need whoever's in Congress, whoever's in the Senate, whoever locally are in office, whether as at your county level, city level, whatever, your school board, get your ass up and do what you need to do for the people who put you there. Period. So anyway, I say all that to say, if you are somebody who practices wellness, we all need a wellness moment. We need a moment right now. And so I know that for me, just turning off the phone in the social media and taking a moment out of time and not looking at every single thing that's going on is helpful. Also, just replenishing and restoring myself with, whether that's like listening to music, is either stretching or cardio, is good for me. Now, look, I've been slacking on the cardio, but stretching I love. And other things, and also just not focusing on it from time to time has been helpful. To having me time, spending time with your family, doing all the things, because we don't know what the hell is going on. We know what's going on, but we don't know what's going on. And so life has not been the same for 14 days. If we're really being honest, it's been going downhill since 2016. So there's that. Also, just another thing. So if you have any ideas, if you're a wellness practitioner, share some of those. I'd love to hear it and put it in the comments. Yeah, because we need you, and we all need to disconnect, but also reconnect to ourselves, to God, and stay in prayer, but also be prayerful, but also make sure that prayer without works is dead. So we got to be prayerful, but we also have to stay in action. And so, yeah, and use our own voices to where we are, wherever town, city, state you're in, to resist, to advocate for your rights. And when I say resist, I mean really basically, resist the unlawful behavior that is being thrust upon us, and also, but to really advocate for your rights, because we have rights in this country, and it looks like some people don't want us to have rights. So, and even if you try to ignore it, it's going to impact you. It's impacting all of us. I don't care who you voted for. You know what I'm saying? At this point, it don't even matter, because at this point, we're all in the fucking basket together, and we're all going to be impacted. So we need to get together, because unless you like a racist, and that's all you care about, which is so sad, that's the thing. Now, that was a lot of heavy shit that I just let off. But now I want to talk about Beyonce winning the Grammy for Country Album of the Year. I didn't watch the Grammys because they've been boring. I don't really care. But Beyonce winning the Grammy for Country Album of the Year is a big deal, and we should talk about that, because I think, there's so many things that was faced just during that time that was racist. Again, racism everywhere seems to be, huh? It's like it's a sickness for real. But she got it, and I think she deserved it. She put a lot of work into it. She actually made country a lot more popping at the time for those who are not country music enthusiasts. But, and historically, it also makes black people go back to, black people created country music. Okay? I know some people, if you didn't do your history and you don't know, do your research and do your history, because that's a fact. And you might wonder why black people always want to say they created something, because we did, and we don't get credit for it, because everything is pretty much stolen and taken away from us, and it's kind of whitewashed. Now, we're not going to take credit for shit we didn't do. No. But if you did it and your peoples did it, come on, they deserve the credit. Anyway, So Beyonce won, and I thought that was cool, and well deserved. And I was actually surprised, really surprised about that. Um, what else? What else? What else? Captain America is coming out this month, and I'm a Marvel girl, so I love Marvel Universe. And so, what y'all think with what's his name? I can't remember his name. Anthony Mackie, yeah. As what is his? Is his Black Hawk? Anyway, is he the new Captain America? What's up? Like, let me know. But I'm excited to see that. I don't know if I told y'all, but I saw Wicked on my birthday, and I loved it. Wicked was popping. The whole story is cute, and I'm a Wizard of Oz fan, so it's basically like a prequel to The Wizard of Oz, and it tells the story of how Elphaba, who's the Wicked Witch, became the Wicked Witch, and Glinda, who's the Good Witch, became Glinda. But there's more to the story, and Cynthia Erivo does a great job. Ariana Grande, great. It's I love it. If you like a musical, you'll love it. If you didn't already see it. But anyway, I've been on here running my mouth for about 46 minutes and 20 seconds, and it's time for me to get myself together. But thank you for sharing and listening to my feedback on what's been going on in the world, well, in our country right now. And let me know what you think, and give me a like, a share in the comments. Again, if you're on Facebook, like me, subscribe to my YouTube channel, Poppin' Politics with Kim Nicole. My voice is going. And yeah, come check me out. I also have a Substack, which is a newsletter that is free right now, that I just started. And so I'm just trying to create. I want to express myself. And so I have a lot of knowledge to share in my own unique Kim way, Kim Nicole. So yeah, check me out, y'all. Don't be afraid. And if you my friend, like I said, if you my friend on Facebook and you clicked on the link to watch this video and you didn't go subscribe to my channel, you're not really my friend. I would do it for you. Don't sit up here and, hey, you don't even have to listen to the whole video. But you do need to like and subscribe to the channel. All right? Don't be fake and phony and try to be like, no. Because then, what are we really doing? We got to support each other. Now, if you don't like it and this is not your shit, then I get it. I understand. But if you can rock with me and vibe with me, yeah, subscribe to my channel. Please and thank you. All right. That's been long enough. I'm out. I got to get myself together. Yes, this hair, this everything. And I'll talk to y'all later. Thank you. Bye. I guess I didn't hit it. Okay, here we go.